All right, folks. Now, here's the issue. Last week, I was one of the first people to break down for you on Friday what happened at a San Antonio high school when two students acted out in a classroom. One dressed up as Donald Trump, the other was a shooter, and they portrayed an assassination right there in front of classmates and a teacher. I was one of the first ones to break that down for you, and the post did go viral. The video went viral that we were breaking down that story here for you. Now I have an update regarding that story here for you. The school district, San Antonio's North Side Independent School District, says a John Marshall High School teacher never gave approval to two students acting out the assassination in her classroom. Barry Perez, a spokesperson for that district, says the student's assignment was to prepare a short skit as part of a Shakespeare lesson, turn the script in, and then, with approval, act it out. When they came in to present their script on Friday, they had changed it and amended the presentation right there on the fly. Instead, the two boys went rogue, acting out an assassination of Trump. That is what we broke down for you, and it was hard to read. It's still hard to talk about. You think about why these students would do that, and now the school is putting. We don't know what actions were taken with the school. We don't know if these students will be expelled or if they're just going to be suspended, but something has to be done. I mean, they did a very scary thing. I mean, a lot of people earlier in the stream were telling me in my prior video that, hey, it's First Amendment rights, that they could do whatever they want. Now, they can't threaten and do assassination attempt things. You can't do that. There's nowhere in free speech where you can issue that. That is a threat. So when I saw some of those comments, I was like, okay, folks, you need to read the Constitution on that one, because you can't make threats here. Interesting that people would think that, though, but the superintendent did put out a statement. Let me read that to you. An incident at John Marshall High School has drawn local and national media attention. Like I was saying, I was one of the first ones to break it down for you. I want to provide more clarity of what actually occurred and address our stance on the matter. Last week, an English teacher at Marshall High School instructed her students to create and perform a brief in-class skit following their study of Shakespeare. The teacher asked for students to submit their scripts for her preview and approval. Two students, after their original script had been submitted, changed their skit to include a mock assassination of the president-elect. The teacher had no idea this change had occurred until the students began to perform this in the classroom. The teacher stopped the student's skit immediately when it became apparent that it was inappropriate. I want to be clear that the school district does not condone the actions of these students or anyone else who would threaten violence. The incident was addressed immediately and appropriately by the teacher and campus administration. Interesting. So we'll see what happens to those two students. We'll try to break that down for you and get into really what their punishment is, because we don't know at this point. We'll keep you updated on that story, but when I was reading that to you guys last week, it was pretty tough to talk about that stuff, because you're talking about not just a threat on our president-elect, but a threat on a human being. What has happened in our society where we could just act stuff like this out in a classroom and think it's going to be okay? I think in our society now, especially in the younger generation, we've lost touch of what matters. And look around in social media. Look around what people are posting. No regard. They're just saying what they feel, and they feel like they could say whatever they want, even if it's a threat. let me tell you, folks, you can't make threats like that because Secret Service will come knocking. It's interesting where it seems like our country has lost touch. Will we ever gain it back? I don't know, but it's scary. Let me know what you think in the comments section if you agree with some of those statements that I was making there. I find it hard that anybody wouldn't agree with that, though, where we just feel like people are just losing touch. I hope during this Thanksgiving that we can all center ourselves and think about what's truly important in life, our family, our friends, reconnect on that, and then be nice to each other. Be nice to other people that we don't even know. Because at the end of the day, we all have to get along. And if we don't, there's going to be deep consequences. That's the issue. And that's my segment for tonight here on the Fox 10 News Now stream.